So yesterday we received some brilliant news that after President Tshisekedi met with President Lorenzo of Angola, there was an agreement that President Tshisekedi would reach out to M23 to start talking about the beginning of negotiations from the 11th of March in Luanda, Angola. This is beautiful news. And for those of us that have been telling the other side of the story that was not known, the side of the story that says that M23 are rebel movements that are coming from refugee camps of Congolese Kenya-Rwandans that have been displaced from Congo, and also from Kenya-Rwandans in Congo that are fighting for their traditional lands that they were separated from when Belgium took the Belgian Congo, taking a lot of land from Rwanda, about 70% of Rwanda's land, and also with some of that land going into Uganda, Tanzania, and Burundi. But the only reason why Congo has become an issue is that in Congo is where Kenya-Rwandan people were facing persecution. We wanted the world to know that side of the story so that when there's negotiations between the Congolese and their people, these Kenya-Rwandan people, there would be negotiations based on true facts of what is happening on the ground. And while we're in Goma, we had already received some communication from a number of very high-ranking sources saying they wanted to know if M23, for instance, its chairman, wanted to negotiate or to talk peace. And we said that the M23 leader has always said and continues to say that he's willing to talk peace. This is a very progressive move, particularly if it is going to stop the deployment of either SADC troops, troops from the east, troops from the west, or troops from the north into Congo against fellow Africans. It is also a brilliant move if it is going to debunk this notion that Bantu people have to be deployed into Congo from SADC or from the east of Africa to go and fight Nilotics, or what are called Arabs, in Congo in the form of Rwandan rebels or Rwandans. We do not have Nilotics or Bantus. That is a colonial construct to divide us, and it's important that we begin to know that. This notion that some people are Nilotics or Hematics is one of the major reasons that you saw a major genocide taking place against the Tutsi, with the radicalization of a Bantu ideology within what were called the Perma-Hutu or the Hutu extremists who caused the violence against Tutsis in Rwanda. It's important that we get to understand that as Africans, we are one. There are no Tutsis, there are no Hutus, there are no Bantus, there are no Nilotics or Hematics. We're one and the same people with a very diverse genetic pool in Africa, the most diverse genetic pool in the world, that needs to see us being united and stop segregating each other by the way we look, the length of our noses, the length of our faces. Because if we go by that, then I should be a Hematic too, with my long face, long nose, big forehead, right? But I'm not a Hematic, I am an African. The Rwandans are Africans. The Congolese are Africans. And even the Mbuti and the Khoi and the San, those are our forefathers. We share the same genetic material. The only difference is they were hunters and gatherers, and they were smaller because they were hunters and gatherers that didn't eat so much. And we are bigger because we became farmers, we began to keep cattle, we began to drink milk, and we began to eat meat. And of course, we started shopping in shopping centers. We lost the cheekbones, we became taller, we became bigger, but that doesn't mean that we are different. The Europeans are the ones that want us to believe that we're different, so that they stop us from claiming our land on the pretext that we, the Bantu, colonized these Khoi, San, and Mbuti, and then in turn, the Nilotic, or what they call the Rwandan Tutsi, also then came and colonized the Bantu. It's all nonsense. And I want to say that these negotiations are a good start to ending these divisions. And if we end these divisions, we can have unity. One of the biggest issues is we do not want South Africa to be deploying all the way into Congo to fight other Africans, because South Africa itself has got a bigger war that is brewing at home, with certain people that want to take the land that they once colonized before to themselves to create a little Israel in South Africa. That is the biggest war that is coming for Africa, and we need to prepare for that. Not only that, we also heard that the Sotho people are tired of being called illegal immigrants in South Africa, and they now want their land back from South Africa. What is the solution to all this? Let's bring down the borders. Let's share mineral resources so that no Africans continue to be deprived of their resources in Africa, and so that we deprive the West that continue to benefit from our resources while we are hungry and fighting each other. So, for peace sake, we're grateful for what it is that seems to be coming in future, and we know that if peace comes to the Congo, peace comes to the rest of Africa, and Africa should consolidate to help South Africa fight what is the second colonialism that is about to start over there.
Thank you, my brother, for the update. We truly appreciate the update. And that's good news. When they started with the negotiation, that's a good start, because we are all Africans. It doesn't make sense, for South Africa to keep on deploying, soldiers to that side. It just doesn't make sense, because South Africa, yes, you're right, we have our own problems that we don't speak much about. We are very aware of what they're doing in Cape Town. Obviously, they just want to make Cape Town their second home. And they're doing everything in their power so that they can take over Cape Town. During the time of, the war in that country that we can't mention, because once you mention it, they will flag the video. I remember when I was in Sea Point, people were making sure that right there at Waterfront, shops that belongs to that country, they made sure that they were protesting. And I only picked that up after I walked out of the shop. That, oh my God, I didn't, because of it was very peaceful, protest. I'm like, oh my God, that means the shop that we went into belongs to them. That's why they were holding that flag and they were actually protesting outside. And also, I've realized that around their Sea Point, the Arabs are moving. You see them walking, entourage. There is a lot which is going on. Now, the only problem is that they're clashing with that country. So that's why the Arabs decided to go to Limpopo and start their own empire there. So if you've been following news, you will hear, what those guys are doing there in Limpopo. And yes, we know that Lesotho is not a violent country. They're very peaceful. And we know that that's not them. There is someone who is busy pushing them so that they can claim that large piece of land in South Africa. We know that Lesotho cannot even match us. And I also realize that there is this movement which is currently going on, whereby there is a group of people who keep on asking questions of Orania. They keep on provoking people in Orania. They keep on asking too many questions because of they want war. And that's how they know that they're going to catch us. They just want to play with our feelings. Orania has been there. Some of us, we've been creating content and we avoided talking about Orania. It's been there. Even SABC went there. Remember, there is, I think it's E News. They went there and they had an interview there. We always knew about Orania. Now you even see other people coming from other countries to show up and making it look like South Africans don't know that there is a place called Orania. The way they put it out there, it's like, how can you have a country inside of another country? We know what they're doing. They're just provoking. They just want to start war. They just want black people to start fighting so that they will find a way to attack us. We know that. They're using content creators and they're using people from outside, to keep spreading this thing that we are so ignorant. We cannot even allow that to happen. We just know that it's like a bomb waiting to explode. We know that, and we are not even ready for that. Because even EFF has been contesting that, and they also realize that we need to let this one be so that we can sort out other things. The issue of Orania has been there for ages. And it's not like South Africans are stupid if we are not even touching that issue. We know exactly what's going on. So that's a way of them wanting to start war You see videos now happening, a lot of people, you know, going to Orania, creating that content. We are aware of it. They are doing that on purpose so that black people can be angry and start, you know, going to Orania, and that's how war will start. Sooner or later, the same way we have seen them going out there and asking Trump to help them. Yeah, the fighting jets will be here. So that's exactly how they want things to be done. Because they're pushing propaganda. We know that they have been very, very strict. Why all of a sudden they allow even content creators to show up there and create content at Orania? We know what they're doing. They're using the social media. They are doing that on purpose. We are watching. I won't be, you know, surprised to hear that other videos have been, you know, sponsored. They're using social media to provoke us.